My biggest thing, like school. I've always thought this, like I just said, I thought this when I was in school. Because me personally, a lot of stuff I learned in school I don't use today as an adult. So would y'all agree that you think if students were able to pick out what they would like to learn instead of what they have to learn, you think school would be better? Because okay, so let me elaborate. Okay, so I know for a fact even every grown adult needs math and reading. You have to learn
how to count your money.
How to count. I ain't gonna say. Now I'm not gonna say like you need algebra every day or advanced something or another like that. You might not need all of that, but you need math. You need to learn how to read and write. So those should be placed in every school. So I'm saying like, let's see, with like biology, like learning how to tell which rocks is which, or
that's geology.
Or my bad.
Biology study of the biome.
Okay, yeah, stuff like that. Like, do you think if students had a chance to pick what they wanted to learn,
they pick Fortnite, they pick some shit, they pick like.
I'm saying like, okay, but
we used to learn the periodic timetable. Not once.
That ain't even the name of it, so that's how I know you don't know.
The periodic timetable?
It ain't time nothing. It's just the periodic table. See, you ain't never say.
That's what we used to call back in the day. Like, for real, that's what we used to call it. Periodic timetable.
No, a multiplication table? Like a timetable is like multiplication.
No, that literally is just the name of it. Like, I can go get a book at home that says, oh, the periodic timetable.
It might just sound better to him like that.
That's what it says.
Okay.
But the periodic table.
But I'm saying, like,
how often do you use that outside of school?
Oh,
so my rebuttal question back to that would be, when you were in school, did you always know what you was gonna do? When you were older?
No.
So would you rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it?
I mean, from my point of view, I get it.
You learning everything until
and I get it. So okay, let's say now, I never knew I was gonna. Even as an adult, I still never knew I was gonna do a lot of stuff I'm doing now. So, but as an adult, okay, that's just like right now. As a grown adult, I never knew I was gonna go to college twice. I never knew stuff like that. I never knew I was gonna be on podcasts. But as an adult, let's say if I needed to, when I first started working, I knew that I was gonna go drive forklifts. I went and got a forklift certification. That's as an adult. If I knew I was gonna be a math teacher, I would have went to school to learn more about math to eventually become a math teacher, right? Like, those are things you can still do. Like, it might take you a little bit longer, but I feel like you can still do those things. And then, as an adult, I understand a lot more than I did when I was in high school and middle school and stuff like that. Like, I understand that I need to learn how to read, write, talk, stuff like that. Like, you can't just go in somebody's place, man, what up, fool? What going on, bro? Like, you gotta learn how to do, like, have etiquette. You gotta learn how to do a lot of stuff. But that's a lot of stuff I learned as an adult. So when I say pick and choose, like I said, the basics, math, reading, writing, yeah, those are there. You need but as far as like an everyday job, what is an everyday job? Like, let's say Walmart. You need to learn how to count how many products come in a case. Okay, it's up 5 across what 6? That's 30. You can more.
It depends on how high you want to go now. The math might get a little more mathier the higher you go.
If you become the inventory manager, you need to learn logistics, which is probably something you learn.
I get what you're saying, and I kind of thought that way too. But now that I look at it, man, like it's pretty much the stepping stones to whatever you want to do in life, right? You got people who want to be architects. You got people who do want to be chemists. So they need that.
But they don't know that.
Exactly, but
And that's what college is
But
for.
it's in the back
So
of
if
your mind.
they decide to go to college, if you had not took that chemistry class in high school,
But they were.
now you just shit out of
How many people go to college not knowing what they want to do in college?
You still gotta take the bare basics.
I just want to get the explanation before we get in there. So I get it.
You gotta think about it, because from what he said, like, I went through an all-women's private school. I went to Wesleyan. I didn't take AP classes in school, but when I started taking my classes, I started remembering stuff, and I was like, oh shit, Mr. Aaron told me about that. What is that? Oh, that's a proton. Like, it really started, and it's like literally because you're so young, your mind is just absorbing everything. I was like, I remember Mr. Aaron told me about this, and then when I could mass to moles to mass, like, that's something that is stuck in my mind from chemistry, and I hated chemistry. But Mr. Aaron was like, this is the bare basics, and when you get to college, when you do Chem 1, mass to moles to mass. And when I said that to my college professor, he was like, your high school teacher told you that? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, he was a good one, because that's exactly, like, literally all of Chem 1 was mass to moles to mass. That is all we talked about for a full year. And it was because Mr. Aaron was like, if you don't learn nothing, remember this equation. And I did. And it was like, I didn't expect to remember that in 9th grade. Like, he was my 9th grade teacher, and they threw me in chemistry because I was good at math. And I was like, okay. But, like, that nugget stuck with me, and I did well in Chem 1 and Chem 2. And they was like, Chem 3, I said, I'm good. Even though I was going to apply mathematical science for engineering, like, it made sense for me to do it. But I was like, I'm going to get just what I need, because I need my other math classes. Like, this was just my little introduction. So it's just having that little nugget, or being the person that can deposit that nugget into a student, to where if they do go to a field, they're like, I remember like, he told me, like, I got to remember this.
I think it may be better if you were able to choose your own class of what you needed, if you had to pay for it. Like, as an adult, you choose what you need because you got to pay for it. It's coming out your pocket now. But what we're giving you currently here, it's free. It's a lot of places around the world that you got to pay for your education. So when it comes to you choosing those classes, you got to pay for it. Clearly, you have a different mentality, a different mindset about that, because now I got to pay for this. So I can't just go in here and do nothing. I can't go in here and just play around. I can't just go in here and not pay attention. Because now I got to pay for this, because this is what I wanted. But this right here is free. We just give you what you might use.
How can you expect somebody to want to pay for it at like 13, 14, 15?
It ain't about wanting to pay for it, but you asked about, would it be better if they were able to choose their own?
Okay.
If they choose, so, then the parent gonna have to pay, which is
if they came to a point, yeah, they came to a point where like, yeah, you can choose your own class.
Or even then though, like, I don't agree with the paying part, because let's just say 14 high schoolers. 14, you are just in 9th grade maybe, and
charter school.
You hit 9th grade or whatever like that, and they're offering free stuff, but they say, hey, we're offering all these things. Choose one. But then, let's say you choose one, that's not what you want to do. So basically, that's a waste of money. I get where you're coming from, but that's a waste of money. So now, I think, like, okay, I'm just gonna say me. I'll be discouraged to pick another one, because like, I'm like, damn, I just paid all this money. I don't like the first one I chose. What if I chose another one? I don't like it too.
Exactly, but that puts value on what you're choosing. Instead of you sitting there and be like, man, I can go in any of these classes, I can do what I want. If I don't like it, I don't like it, and I can just move on to the next. No, it puts value on what you choosing. You got to choose strategically as far as, I think I want to do this.
Ace Academy? Oh, yeah. Ace, if you going to Ace, like, yo, if your parents are paying for you to go to Ace, like, you better be out here really making the best grades. And a lot of my kids, when I did teach, they would come to my office, and, like, those kids now are at UGA. They're at Albany. Like, they're in real big, like, sturdy, big people job. And they just graduated a couple of years ago. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm already, like, doing internships with Boeing for chemistry. And you, like, and it's because, like, their parents said, like, I'm going to put everything I can into you, so I'm going to put you into this school that has a different mindset of teaching. Like, Ace Academy is nothing like any public school you'll go to. Right. They don't even teach the same way or same curriculums. But, like, there are some kids who went to Ace who probably work at Walmart right now. Like, that's just the mix of bag that you're going to get. But the parents being that into it to say, I'm going to put my money into my child, automatically makes you feel a different type of way as a student, saying, I got to do it. Like, my mom is paying for this. Like, we got light bill to pay, but she's paying for me to go to school, too.
Okay.
So
I got a bunch of questions I'm trying to keep up with in my head. But first thing first, we decided today, since you said you do a high school kid, right? You do elementary school. I always look at high school as like it's like the finish line and the give up line at the same time. Because most people that drop out somewhere between usually around 10th and 11th grade. That's where you get your dropouts at. So as far as, I guess it's a segue into my actual question, but what programs do y'all have to keep kids to like deferring from trying to quit school? And with the current age of like technology and the way we see people who can get famous and rich and they don't have any kind of college education, do you think that's actually hurting the curriculum because kids are like, well, I can get famous doing this, so I don't need school, or well, I can get Instagram famous or TikTok famous, and I don't need school. You know, stuff like that. Is there any kind of programs y'all have that helps toward deferring kids from quitting school?
I don't think it's a true program behind it. It's more of a self-motivation thing. But a lot of kids need to also understand that even though they see all these people on social media that's getting rich and getting famous, it's more people out there faking it for social media than they actually know. So I know plenty of kids that see all these artists, that see all these reality TV people that's, oh, they're so rich and famous, and you know nothing about their true life. You only know what they portray on social media. So as much as they could be faking it, of course, everybody's like, man, I'd rather do this, man, I can do that. But are they really knowing what comes behind this? A lot of kids that drop out, a lot of kids that think they can get social media famous don't even have the work ethic to do it. So the work ethic that you show in school is the work ethic that you would put towards anything like that. And trust me, it's so many students that have no work ethic. So they don't realize how much work comes behind it. So, I mean, anybody who watches Talk to Me Nice, for example, and they can see what Ray's doing in the community. They don't even know how much money he makes. I don't know who does. I don't know. But I know about how much work he has to put in, and that is something that you have to be steadfast in. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to get rich in a day or two. I'm going to be rich by next week if I just post this one video that go viral. They don't know how much time and effort it takes to keep up with things like that. So that behind the scenes work, it just don't mesh well. But I don't think it's any specific class to say, hey man, if you take this class, it's gonna help you not drop out.
And my other question was
because let him finish too though.
I'm on the elementary level. I don't really have to worry about.
No, it was really
about
They
the
just playing
dropouts.
go sleep with you.
my other question was further what he said about picking classes. But it wasn't really about picking classes. It was more about, I was thinking about the way schools are set up. Like you have private schools, you have public schools. So what's the biggest difference between private schools and public schools? And which do you prefer as a learning tool for kids? Would you prefer private school or public?
Public all the way.
I haven't worked in private school, so I don't know their settings. So I couldn't tell you which one I would actually choose.
I feel like
I thought they could always
public school is what make you.
I teach.
Like if you
I can say I
public
was
school is what make
It does build a different character.
Yeah, like,
I was both.
Again, when you're in private school, man, people are paying for this, man.
Exactly. I was private
you gotta
school
come
up
in
until
with
high school.
a different mentality of, oh man, like my parents paid for this, so they really gonna be on top of me. And my teachers are they have a different standard of how they're teaching and what they're teaching. They have a different curriculum of everything. So I don't know what's really best for a student, but I've always been in public school. I went to school in public school. I teach in public school. I don't know anything about private besides the fact that people have to pay for it.
You got a uniform, yeah, you got tuition, you got to pay.
I feel like public school make you who you are because that boosts your social skills, regardless. And when I say this, regardless of if you the popular kid or you're not,
Right.
you gonna have to talk to people regardless. And then like it even helps you out with your mental health. Sometimes I know some people can't handle it, some people can't. Being picked on sometimes can boost your mental capability to what shit don't even phase you. Like, hey, I don't know what I'm
It
doing.
also
But
brings
then,
structure.
Yeah, but then, like I said, it can make you who you are. But I feel like public school can make a soft kid a tough kid. Or it can humble a hard kid to be, you know what I'm saying, better than what it is. Because, like, I know when we was in school, I used to talk to some of everybody. Like, some people were just weird as hell in school, but I'm like, why are you like this? That shit always fascinated me. Like, why are you walking around school with one glove on with all your fingers cut out? Like,
alright, that kid gonna come to school. Where Courtney is?
no, I mean, I ain't never talk about them. I just wanted to know, like, what made you go down this path to what, like, you feel like you gotta wear all this black and heavy ass clothes and shit like that.
I think private school experiences some of the same things though. Like,
like I said,
from private school, and I mean, she talked about how she was picked up.
Yeah, I was
a student of color. Yeah. But she also came in and was like, I mean, I ain't really learned any of this type of math when I was over there. Like, she literally told me, like, she barely know her times tables. But she came from private school, so I don't know how much they're really teaching over there. No matter how much you're paying for it, but what's really being taught, is it really better to go to private school? Who knows? I don't. So I can't speak between which one is actually better and which one is better suited for the students.
Yeah, and I can definitely say, like, being someone who went to private and public school, like, private, literally, like, you pick who goes there because you pay a tuition. Well, first, you gotta get an entrance exam to get in. It's literally like college. Like, they pick the best of the best when it comes to a school test. I mean, I like public school more. I really did. Like, I got to see and meet so many people. Like, when you're in private school, because parents are paying, like, you're only gonna see, like, upper class people. Like, when it comes to money, because you're paying. But public school, like, I saw everybody from the kid who lived across the street from the school, who was late every day, and you live across the street from the school, to the parents who driving from cross town because this is a good school. I went to Central, by the way. So, like, your parents are driving you over there because this is a magnet IB school. So, like, cool, they want you to be here. So I got to see some of everything when I did get to public school, and I liked it because I was like, this is real life. Like, you see everything from your seniors who are basketball players to your kids who love Beta Club and Delta. Like, you see some of everything, and all these different people have pride in everything that they doing, good, bad, or indifferent. Whereas in private school, it's like, oh, my parents paid for me to do piano. I got to do piano. I got to do violin because they paid for lessons. Like, it was just you just kind of made it through life in private school because the money was there. Public school is like, oh, no, you got to, like, oh, you want to be on this team? You got to perform well in, like, you got to do well in your academics before you do it. Private, if your parents pay enough, you can have an F in math, but you're going to be the star football player. Like, it was completely different because your parents are paying, and they probably think sports going to get you better anyway. So if I pay for you to be on this team, you're going to be on this team. Whereas in public school, if you slip down to a C, you're probably about to get kicked off this team if you slipping down to a C, and your coaches are on you, so you feel like you have to work harder. Like, it's literally money or no money. Like, that's literally how it is.
I remember in high school, like, after football, I remember it was like, you had to play another sport. I was like, damn, what I want to do? I don't want to hoop. So I fought around and started doing wrestling. I figured out I was great at it. I was great at wrestling. And then the coach was like, hey, Corey, you're great as a guy slipping, so we got to have to stop you from wrestling. I was like,
you be like, what?
So you tell me.
Let me go back to the playroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Let me go talk to the teacher.
I can't wrestle because my grade. I was like, what they got to do? What me beat up on these folks got to do with grade? He told me something. I mean, either you got to start passing your class or we got to stop you from wrestling. I was like, I guess I'm going to have to stop wrestling.
You
went down the wrong path.
Right.
Exactly. I got it.
I was already in the point where I was like, man, I don't really like coming to school. I'm cool with everybody, so we're cool talking to folk, but I sit in class like, is this really what I want to do? Like, I'm doing it. Like, and I was so self-aware, like, I knew I was messing up with everybody else.
This man would get to school when it was time for the after-school program.
I'd be like, damn, I'm in the class just messing around with everybody else who just fucking up their education too. So I was like, I need to do something like that. And then the girl stopped me one day. She was like, Courtney, you know you gonna be on the streets one of these days. I was like, me? I'm gonna be on the street? Is that really a possibility? Like, I was like, damn, all right, maybe I need to do some shit. But like I said, it wound up going to the point where I wound up going to job and shit like that. So, but I don't know. It just got to the point where I just didn't give a damn. I was like, cause I used to love wrestling. I used to come to practice and everything. I'm talking about fine. Like, I remember one day I ain't come to practice for like 2-3 weeks, and I still walked up in there and beat everybody. And I was like, but it was like, you know, you go D1, how good you will. I was like,
all right, Craig.
who the fuck about to go to college? Oh, when you like come to high school, you want me to go to college?
Monday, you know we got practice. Yeah, I see y'all practice. I ain't coming to school though.
Exactly.
I did practice though, you know.
Hey man, it just got bad. But like I said, when I actually got on my own and stuff like that, like a lot of stuff changed for me. Cause like I said, I never thought I would have went to college. At least if I went, I never thought I would have went twice. Like, yeah, none of this stuff I never would have thought I would have did. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I understand, but I had another question. So I remember at one point in time, they still had like electrical and stuff like that in school. Do they still have it? Like, I know you said you high school. I think it was that middle school? Or, I think it was middle school.
Walt was at high school that did all that. But he's not there anymore, so I don't know if they still have it or not.
Yeah, because normally you're going to have your art, you're going to have.
So, okay, so
things.
the other thing I wanted to go ahead and ask, like, me personally, I feel like schools should teach trades. What y'all think?
That would be lovely.
That's more of a charter school, though.
It would be great if school teach trades, but again, a lot of people don't know what they want to do.
I mean, true.
No, I ever trade.
But that's why I like having multiple trades and
It
something
was-
like
That's pretty much like
It was
your
such a
electives. When we was in school, we had wood shop and all that kind of stuff when we was in school. So I mean, it kind of plays into your electives, and that gives you the opportunity to try out this different thing to see if you like it, to see if that's something that you want to do for the rest of your life.
What did they do? Hutchinson Career Center was the career center. If you wanted to be a mechanic, you went to Hutchinson Career Center, and you could literally be a mechanic. Like, that was the trade area. But now I don't even know what it is now.
They have career center. They still have career center.
Yeah, it's called career centers now. So
See,
it's like,
okay,
you
so
go
how
there
did
and
you
be
even get to? Cause I remember career center, but every
You gotta
time.
come to school and sit down.
yeah, but the thing is, you had to come to school, and if they can evaluate you because you're in school, they can evaluate. Damn, okay, Courtney would be better at trade school, but you do gotta come because like it'll be like your grades aren't where they're supposed to be, but you can build a damn paper airplane immaculately. So they like,
I'm glad I been there.
okay,
And it's a lot of people that don't understand to have the privilege to go over there. You have to have a certain GPA.
exactly.
So
I get that right.
So yeah, you gotta go to school, you gotta do semi all right, then they can qualify you.
I used to
and
hear
first.
about that shit all the time. Like, damn, they folk go to career center. I'm like,
I mean, come to school say, oh, we do fouls, man.
I'm like people that want to do a lot of different things. Like, man,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, like being a mechanic was like
You
cool.
don't get I
A pass.
when you go to Central Georgia, you don't get that certificate to say, hey, I got this trade. But it does allow you to get ahead of the pack. That once you leave school, hey man, I ain't going to college. I'm going to Texas.
Listen, I'm about to go
see,
be a plumber.
but like now, okay, me personally now, if I was to ever get into a career academy, I think I would be great because like Central Georgia Tech, Job Corps, man, I'm talking about like when I first went to Job Corps, I chose my own trade to go to facility maintenance, meaning I could work on any facility, like plumbing, electrical, flooring, wall, glass, all that kind of stuff. I chose that. I didn't even know what facility maintenance was until I wanted to choose it. But even after that, I was in there for a year and a half. I wound up being shop foreman at like 4 months in. Because like instead of like me just going with the regular, because okay, when I say facility maintenance, there was a trade called facility maintenance, and there were actually people that worked on the facility, which was facility maintenance. So we were the trade, but they were actually the facility maintenance. Like if anything was breakdown in the dorm, they went. If like there's a fire somewhere, they went. I wound up taking it upon myself to go work with them. So them folk were like, I'm like, damn, okay. You take initiative and stuff like that. I don't want to sit in Claremont all day. So I wound up, you know what I'm saying, going to work with them, working with this guy, me and another dude from one of my class. My shop teacher, he was like, hey, okay, your own buddy you working with was like, y'all been doing great. He was like, you want to be shop foreman? I was like, what do you need to do for that? He was like, man, really? He was like, shit, just whatever you learn out there, can you teach it in here? I think so. So I wound up teaching a little something like that. But like I said, I felt like if, and I'm just being, like, just thinking like a lot, but in school, if I probably would have had the chance to do that, I probably would have did great. But just because of my grades and stuff like that, held me back from stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I probably could have been great at mechanical and, you know what I'm saying, wood shop and stuff like that. But I never got the chance to do none of that. Because everything they thought about was on, oh, you failing math. Like, even though, I'm saying, but look, so I'm saying, okay, like right now, like, just because I didn't do good in school, I'm great at math. I can do math all day. I can read perfect.
You have to go to school to have grades.
I mean, just because I wasn't doing it don't mean I don't know what I'm doing.
It's your time.
Or you showing that you know what you're doing. Each player student that walk in my class be like, man, I know this, and then I give them a problem, and they can't do it. Like,
see, but I ain't never get that chance. Like you wasn't there. I'm talking about in the career center. If I could have walked in the career center and was like, I can do this shit, and then they were like, all right, let's see what you can do. Put me in the game, stuff like that. I would have been great at it. But you tell me,
you want to just be thrown into the fire? That would have sounded like.
I like stuff like that.
But you don't know.
Thrown into this.
You don't know if kids know how to do that though.
And I understand from that standpoint that you don't just want somebody to come.
So you more hands on.
I said that.
And it's still like a privilege type of thing though. Like,
and I get that.
You got to prove yourself. You necessarily got to prove yourself number-wise, but your work ethic says a lot about you. Like, man,
okay, so
this student can handle this.
Let me ask you a question.
He don't like the process.
Let me ask you a question.
How to do it.
15-year-old me versus 29-year-old me, work ethic wise. I'm pretty sure if I could have been doing the same stuff or had the same opportunities now that I had, then that I have now, I probably still have been doing great. But everything I chose from the time I was 18 to 29, I've chosen on my own. Like, I feel like if you give somebody a chance to choose, they would go farther instead of just being told what to do all the time.
You know, once you get by 18 to now, though, you know what you start doing when you start making those choices as well? You start paying for it as well. Like,
I didn't pay for y'all.
No, like consequences.
Yeah.
I get it.
That, like I said, that puts value into different things. So you tend to do better at those times. When you feel like you had all those different consequences that came back to you at a young age, it ain't the same effort behind it. You ain't got the same fire behind it. Like, as an 18-year-old, you're probably motivated like, hey man, eventually I gotta go somewhere, man. I gotta get out of the house. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to get there. Like, you motivated yourself, but at 14, you ain't think about doing that right now? So what's really motivating you? Like, either way, I'm gonna wake up and I'm still be here.
I can't speak for everybody. I can't. But my group of friends, I always hang out with people who kind of older. And like, stuff that motivated me was the fact that I didn't like being broke. I didn't like it. He 37, hang him, so I can be.
So you